is fucking easy.
All right, you already know. It's the N to the E to the I to the G to the H.
It's too long. I think it's too long.
Okay.
Just to do it.
All right, everybody. Well,
it's the neighbors. It's a wrap. No.
Welcome to the Neighbors Podcast. Thank you, Spondu Ballet, as always, for playing us in. And you know what? It didn't feel right. I'm going to do it anyway. It's been the N to the E to the I to the G to the H to the B to the O to the R to the S. And we are out here. And the block
neighbors.
Is hot.
Yep. Well, good afternoon, first and foremost. Did y'all do anything going on with your day? Was it just a kickback chill day, or you have some shit going on?
Oh, man. I was on the roof at Rosewood today.
On the roof? Were you doing some Christmas lights?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Yep, I was on the roof, and boy, I tell you, honestly, I feel like sometimes I get really scared of falling off the roof.
Yeah? Are you not a heights guy? Is that like a fear, or is it more just the more you're up there, the more you're like, damn, could be life-threatening?
Well, honestly, I almost feel like it's partly because of the shoes that I have. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, I don't have the Air Maxes, I don't have the Jordan 3s, I don't have the 4s, I don't have the, Capri Sun, Honda Civic, Folgers, Nike Dunks.
Are you on the roof with the chunkless?
But I have, the soles of my shoes are starting to give out. They don't have any traction. And honestly, there was some moments today where I legitimately thought that I was going to fall off the roof.
I've definitely been there. Been there on Rosewood's roof.
I mean, it's just like in National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. We're just putting up the lights, and he just obviously he was on the ladder, but I mean, my dumbass was at like a 65-degree angle. Just crouched down, putting all these clips around the border of a building. And I don't know, man. I think it's scary, especially like when you're in the front.
Were you above the fire to fork side?
Yeah.
That's the 2-story section. That's where it's like you're right up above the straight pavement, and you're like, yeah. this could go wrong very quickly. That's
the only part of the building, I think. Everywhere else, like, I'm not too worried about it because I look down and I'm like, well, if I fall, it's going to be into like a pile of leaves or on some grass.
I can do some roll shit and
it's
get
not
out
ideal,
of it.
But like, I feel like I could, I used to do parkour. I don't know if you guys knew that about me, but...
Really?
Yeah.
I've always been interested in parkour.
I used to do some parkour. I've actually jumped across 2 buildings. I've jumped from a building to another building.
We should go do some parkour shit.
I'm
on the amateur level, that's what I've always been interested. Didn't really know how to get into that niche, but if you...
I let you guys watch American Ninja Warrior one time, and this is what fucking happens.
That show was awesome, for the record.
That show's actually staged.
Really?
No.
I was gonna say that breaks like my childhood. I was watching that all the time when I was younger.
Of course not. They're doing all that in real time.
I was gonna say they all paid actors.
They're all on steroids, though.
No, that's actually funny you say that you were on the roof today, because we were putting up the second story of the house that we're building, and we got this like boom lift that's like one of the 45-foot ones, so it can get up there. And at the end of the day, we're like cleaning all this shit up.
Is a boom lift like a cherry picker?
Yes, but kind of like the next level up version, the beefier, like more going over like huge tractor tires and like a bigger cage, bigger arm to like extend further.
Okay.
But my boss, at the end of the day, we're all, it's just the 3 of us and we're cleaning shit up, and he's looking at Mike and he's like, you want to ride the boom lift down? Because he's sitting up on the peak of the house we just framed, and he's like, no, he's like, I usually would, but, I'm going to pass this time. And I look at him, I'm like, you stay right there. I'm going to go back up there just to write it down. And so I haven't driven the boom lift that was that big, but I rode down that bitch from 35 feet. So, that was a good time.
Yeah.
But other than that was honestly pretty much all I did today was fucking framing and then that bullshit and nice long hour and a 15-minute drive home.
Hey, we love to hear it.
That's a long commute there and back, to be honest. It's a lot of gas, too.
Yeah, way further than I'd want it to be. But we said for the first house we'd do it, and I get to charge them drive time both there and back.
All right, that's fair then.
So I was like, you know what? Sold. That makes up for the gas.
Yeah, because like I wouldn't be driving out there if it was just like, oh yeah, all right, you start the day when you get here. Like fuck that.
Yeah, for real.
No, I say if it's over an hour, I want to be paid for at least one way of the commute.
I want to be paid shit.
I honestly feel like an hour drive is like such a ideal for me, because I can listen to, that's about like the length of an album. That's like about the length of an average podcast. I mean, to me, I think that is like a great like pocket of like exhalation where you can regain yourself and like, like if I'm, going back to the old neighborhood, that's about like, an hour away from me. So like to me, I think that's a good standard. Maybe not so much to like a job site or work, but
I was gonna say I think for the everyday commute, I prefer like 20 minutes is ideal for me. But on a regular basis, I do appreciate the hour-long drive because it's
not all the time. Not all the time.
It's my perfect time to catch up on like the people I'm subscribed to on YouTube and like some videos or some music, as you said, or just a podcast or not. Well, I just put it on. I put it on my little like stand and shit, and it's more so like if it's a podcast or some fucking crypto updates or some fucking anime bullshit. It's not something I'm like watching. It's more so listening to. But it's like
I had a coworker who he used to watch The Office while he was driving. He would put his phone on his dashboard and he would drive around and like.
That seems safe.
Be watching The Office.
I cannot confirm or deny the fact that I may or may not have watched a Netflix series or two while driving. But I never understood behind
that.
me. I put that behind me.
You are canceled, bro.
Put that behind me.
How many cars have you been?
I could never.
No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, Scott, you're the one who crashed your car last week.
Yeah, to the weather, not watching The Office or some dumb shit.
I never crashed my car watching something.
It was only a 10-time thing.
What he said. This guy gets it.
Right. Yeah, man. Whew. I'm telling you, man.
Speaking of cars, both mine are in the fucking shop or about to be. And
really?
I gotta spend at least $1,000 for my Honda if I want to get it fixed. And I know I'm gonna take the truck in, and that's gonna be at least $1,000 if I want to get that fixed. So now I'm on a toss-up. Which one is better to fix up, and which one's better to sell? Because I think
I would put money into the truck.
I was gonna say I did some digging and some studying, and the truck actually has some like crazy good reviews and says that it's super cheap to maintain, runs a super long time, and its value is still like a lot higher than I would have expected. And my Honda, even in poor condition, and like I was very honest with my labelings. Yes, without a bumper, it looks like Toothless the Dragon. That's what I think whenever I'm driving around.
Let's paint a picture for the viewers at home. I'm pretty sure you can see the coolant tank.
You can. That's empty. It's been empty for Lord knows how long.
Okay, that's not good.
No.
I remember it was a bit around this time, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna get it fixed." A year ago.
Specific. Yeah.
Well, at least he has a car.
Motherfucker, give me a week. My car's getting fixed. It's more than both y'all cars combined.
Yeah,
and your girl's car combined.
But it's not as fun to drive.
That's not even true.
My car is all about the driving experience.
The best thing about your car is that you can say the Maserati. That's the best part about your car.
That's right. I will say you have kept your car in like immaculate condition. There's
the Mazda
no
3
car.
is the best engine out of any sedan on the market.
I am ill-equipped when it comes to my knowledge about engines and the like. So I believe you. As you know, my girl has the same car, but I very much so really like the Mazda.
She has great taste.
Yeah, it's a nice one.
I
like yours better.
I saw a guy. I swear to God, yesterday, 2 days ago. I was driving. I was in Chicago. I was driving, and I saw a guy, white Honda Civic. Literally, what did he have? He had the fade. He had the fresh fade. He had the fresh fade, and he was wearing a blue. He was wearing a blue jacket that you always wear. I swear to God, he was wearing the same polo.
He was a doppelganger.
Dude stole your car,
doppelganger, or whatever.
Wait, is that polo
a doppelganger?
It's polo.
He's wearing the same polo sweat. Dude, I swear to God, in the same car. He had the same haircut.
I will say I see your
same
car
ethnicity, same eyebrows.
He was white too, dude. Oh man, I will never.
Had a twin brother too. Born in 2000 as well.
Oh,
damn!
It's over with.
He looked.
What are the odds?
He looked like he was born in 2000. But no, that actually happened to me one time when another time I was driving on the expressway and I saw literally same make and model of my friend Yvonne's car, and of course you know Yvonne, almost unmistakable for that man. Just clean shaven, Venezuelan, just like his posture and mannerisms. And like this guy was like smoking a cigarette, like a fucking like European guy, you know what I mean, with like the fucking like he's just his arm stayed still, but his wrist was moving.
He's very animated with the
what
effect.
I mean? And he was wearing like big sunglasses. I think I might have told you this story before, but I don't think I told it on the pod. But like
I've heard this story 100%.
And we were driving like 80 miles an hour, and I was like trying to catch up to this guy, and like, dude, I was convinced that it was him, and like I was waving at him, like he was waving back, like he recognized me, and like, dude, it was absolutely like the funniest thing, because like his reaction was like, oh, dude, like that's my fucking friend. You know what I mean? And I was like dead sad, and I was like texting. I was texting him too. I was like, "Bro, I can't believe it."
He's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
And then I called him the next day, and I was like, "Man, like, dude, what are the chances of that?" Because we were both just like laughing and just so happy. And he was like, "Steve, I think you're crazy." That was not me.
Definitely crazy.
Oh my god! I was like, well.
So I see on your handy notebook there that you had a few questions written out.
Yes, that's true. So
fire off some of what you got there.
Okay, so
let the people know what you got cooking in the pot.
A couple questions, guys. So what would be your 3 most coveted jobs that you would want to work for a day? Or you know what? Let's not even say a day. Let's just say like like if you had if you were a totally different path in life, or things worked out differently. Like what would the 3 jobs you would most want to do?
I would say off rip, without even thinking for 60 seconds about it, I would say astronaut for one. My number 2 would probably be NBA coach, an NBA coach, like. You know what I'm saying? Like for the Bulls or for the Bucks or some shit, they're getting to see like the championships. Yeah, not 93, probably like the 90s, 95, 96, like Bulls. So like the years with Scottie Pippen, Jordan, and Dennis Rodman, the trifecta. But
take me back.
And then the third, I don't even know. The third, I'd want to just do like a lot of what I want to do now, like what these content people are doing, like for a
Podcaster?
day. No, not podcaster, but just like, I don't want to say live streamer, but like just recording, like I guess you could say like YouTuber. You could just like sum it up by saying YouTuber.
Content creator, just on any platform, I guess.
No, more like YouTube videos, because it's like
YouTube,
anybody
gotcha.
can like make an Instagram video and post that, but like it takes like a lot more to have like an actual following and like
right
enough people be interested in what you're doing to make a living off of it.
Wow.
Well, I was going to say, I think, astronaut is always like one of those things you kind of hear that's like everyone and their child and their friend and whoever wants to be an astronaut when they're young, they're like, I want to go to space, see the moon.
Hey, well, you know what? The way I see it, you are a space cadet. Your name is Scotty, and you are a content creator / YouTuber. So you are already living your dream life.
Ain't no cap in my rap, Scott. And that brings me to another point. No, I'm just kidding.
This man is already fully fledged doing the 3 things he said he wanted to do.
I was going to say, hot take, I would hate to be an astronaut. Personally, I feel like you barely ever get to actually go up into space, and most of the time you're doing that training stuff with just like G-force, getting spun around in a circle, like just some crazy fucking training and shit. So I feel like that, man, I understand where you're coming from.
People.
But
they need me.
Not me, but for me, I would say I always wanted to be a soccer player. I feel like that would be so great. You make so much money, and you just fucking play a sport all the time with the bros. But obviously, I gave up that dream pretty early. After that, I would say I'd want to be like the number 1 like perfect palate taste tester for some huge like candy company. That like I just all day They just fed me the best brand new sweets to like try and rate for them.
You'd be fat as fuck.
Well, yeah,
That's a
you
great
know, you're
answer.
probably right, but I feel like, you know, just I take care of myself well, get paid really well. Maybe I'd only have to try like 3 or 4 candy bars a day, but that would be my job, just going and trying new fucking awesome sweets. Like,
Wow.
I've always loved candy and sweet foods. I can't help it.
What's your favorite candy?
Favorite candy?
What's your favorite chocolate bar, and then what's your favorite candy?
Chocolate bar? It's between... A Twix is like my everyday, like any place will have it. It's my go-to when it's like I know I can get a Twix and I know I'll be satisfied.
Left
and
Twix
enjoy
or
it.
right Twix?
Left Twix. For me.
I know. Yep, me too.
But to be honest with you, I never really gave a shit if there's only a left and a right. I'll end up eating both of them at the end of the night. So I really don't care.
Bro, no.
But
that for me is like that's the left Twix, like that's my drink. Like they don't have the left Twix.
You ain't drinking.
I'm not eating the right.
You ain't eating the right. It's the right's getting closed back in the candy drawer. No. But yeah, I gotta say Twix is probably just the OG favorite chocolate bar. But otherwise, I love some gummy bears. Gummy bears are probably I go into a gas station and I get the Haribo gummy bears. I really like them.
Those are good.
They got the chewiness for me. And third job, probably what I would actually like to do that would be like the dream that I think would be super cool and just like out there.
Can I say something?
By all means.
About to go off those gummy bears. Have
Yeah.
you ever had Haribo makes the Happy Colas?
I love the colas.
Dude, those are so
gas.
good, dude.
Yes.
Yeah,
the colas are.
I don't know what
really
it was.
good.
I used to love those.
Yeah, no, they're busting.
Oh,
Bussin'.
man. Yeah.
But the last job is I'd like to be like an explorer, whether that's just like geography, whether that's just like desert, ocean, jungle, etc., just anywhere in the world. And I'd really like to do like animal conservation and exploration, try to find like new species and like work with animals all the time and explore. Because I think I'd like to obviously travel and see as much of the world as possible, and I think appreciating life would be like the best way to live.
That would be cool.
How about you?
So for me, actually, I would actually kind of go within the same realm as what you said, but I would want to be a marine biologist. And for me, the reason why is because I love the ocean and I love the water. I think like sea, the animals and the sea and like underwater life is so fascinating to me that it's just like such an otherworldly type of environment that is so vast, and I just think it's so interesting. Like I'd love to do something along those lines.
Are you scared of the ocean though? Like, would you go on a submarine?
Yes, I am scared of the ocean. Yes, I would go maybe like I wouldn't go like deep sea like into the submarine.
That's where all the cool shit is.
Well, maybe I would, but I would want to do like kind of more like coastline, reef.
Yeah, I want to go where I can see the
banks.
bottom, where it's where I can
Scuba
dip my
gear.
toes
Like
in
scuba
the
gear.
bottom.
Well, I imagine there's like different like levels
Depths,
of
yeah.
marine biology. Like I wouldn't necessarily want to go to the depths. You know what I mean? Like with all the
Crazy
You ain't trying to be in the
giant
Mariana
squids,
Trench.
Yeah, no. I mean, for me, I would probably want to study something along the lines of like,
Rizology or...
conservation. That's I
Already
I
majored.
know you failed
Already
that
majored.
back in high school, but
yeah, but in
you can always go back.
College, I aced it.
Yeah.
High school, maybe not. But you know what? I think something along the lines of conservation of the ocean. Is a very important thing that humans need to propel and push the movement forward.
It's crazy that we know more about the outer space than we do our ocean. And our ocean is over half of our planet, and we still don't know the majority about it.
Do you think that that's true? Because I've heard
Yeah.
people say that before.
No, yeah, I think that's definitely very true. And I mean, we still discover new species in the ocean all the time. And I think it's because we have technology that lets us see pretty much to like insane amounts all throughout space, whereas we don't have technology that lets us get to even near the depths of our oceans.
Right.
Kind of like Antarctica. You ever think about what's really out there? Like, that's just the one continent that's the biggest on Earth that, like, no one knows what the fuck is going on out there. Like, that shit's crazy.
We'll save Antarctica.
Yeah, for another discuss. I was going to say, to your marine biology thing, I also think the oceans would be super cool, and I've always loved the oceans. I've loved ocean creatures. But as I've gotten older, I've had a more dense appreciation, or, like, I guess, fearful appreciation of the ocean. And then, like, submarines, that's going to be a no-go. No desire for that. The Ocean Gate shit made it even more, like, real for me. That shit's my nightmare. I think that's, like, one of my worst nightmares, is, like, submarine, compressed, that, oh my god.
Man, that's so wild. You know what, the Ocean Gate, I wish I had, like, a bigger heart, you know, about those kind of things. But, I mean, with... You know, the amount of money and resources these guys had to, you know...
They knew that shit wasn't ready.
Kind of, you know, not really take all the necessary precautions. I don't have a lot of sympathy.
No, I feel bad for the one kid. That's the only thing.
I feel sorry
who didn't even want to go. Didn't even want to go.
Yeah, well...
Wanted to impress his pops or something. That's what was, like, written, but who knows? Who knows how it happened?
That's got to be such a weird thing, like, you know, when you're a kid and your dad wants to take you fishing, and you're like, yeah, I don't know, I don't really want to go, like...
Let me take you to the Titanic, son.
Right. Like, if your dad, you know, had, you know, just, you know, big bucks, and he's like, oh, yeah, let's just go in the submarine, like, you know, you gotta appease your dad. So, yeah, I mean, that part's sad, but, I mean, you know...
Yeah, I totally get what you mean.
It's like, I mean, going to... Is that what they wanted, to go see the Titanic?
That is. That's where they went. Yeah, was to explore the Titanic wreckage.
I mean, it's almost kind of like too on the
ironic.
nose.
It's like it's literally
like oceanic tragedy of the past 100 years.
Yeah, and try to go visit it in a not ready raft. It's crazy.
Yeah.
What were your other jobs? Sorry, I didn't mean to get into the submarine talk.
Wait, when was the Titanic? What was it? 100 years ago? It was 1912.
Yeah, so it
was over 100 years ago.
April 14th.
113 years ago.
Okay, wow, that's crazy. Okay, so yeah, my second dream job, it would be to be a forest ranger at a national park.
That sounds so lame.
I would want to go to the Redwood Forest, or maybe in Crater Lake, Oregon, or any kind of, you know, it wouldn't even have to be like an official type of position. Even like if I were to just be at any national park and, you know, was just kind of dealing with, you know, that sort of thing. I almost feel like it would be like, and this sounds so lame or whatever, but just like the vibe. Just be off the charts if, like, you know, the Grand Canyon.
You're surrounded by wood.
What was your office? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter if it was the Grand Canyon. If it was
made a few grand like the canyon.
Yeah, hey, if I go to the Grand Canyon, make a couple grand at the canyon, you know, that's crazy. So, yeah, I want to do something like that. And also, I would want to go to, I have never been to a national park, except for a couple of them, but...
How are you saying, like, you've never been to, like, one of the, like, big national park ones?
Well, no, I've been to Yellowstone.
Yellowstone's one of the coolest ones.
Yeah, I think Yellowstone is one of the best national parks, honestly.
Hold on, Yellowstone is the geysers, correct?
Where's the one that you went to in Colorado?
I was out there.
Because I remember, like, when you were living in Chicago, you brought back some weed from Colorado.
Oh, yeah, that was some gas. I don't think that was a national park, but that was the Garden of the Gods.
Yeah, okay.
I was going to say...
Also beautiful. I took mushrooms there. And it was
even more beautiful.
I saw the God.
Yeah, Garden of the Gods. You definitely talked to God.
Walked in there.
Right. No, I saw God, and me and my friends were.
Like, you talked to God, and he said, "My boy, you going to hell."
And me and my friends were literally like, we like hiked up this like huge, you know, like steeple, and like we're super tired, and we're like, yeah, you know, let's just kind of take a break and like chill out here, like let's lay out for a bit. And we were like.
If you say like one more time, I'm gonna strangle you. But yeah, continue.
On this, if I say like,
yeah.
Okay, so we'll just edit those out. So like I was saying, we were all laid out and we were like on this, you know, steeple, and I think I think we were laying down for quite a while because we were all so tired. Had just hiked for miles and miles all day. Like didn't pack any food really. Just had like some water bottles or whatever, and like started to take a nap, or like we started sleeping for a little bit, and there was this guy who came up like in a pickup truck, and I think he thought we were like not okay or something. And he offered to give us a ride, and we're like, yeah, sure, whatever. And he's like, I don't have any room in my car though, because he had a pickup truck. And he's like, the front seat's for my dog, and he had like this giant dog in his car. And he's like, you guys are gonna have to go in the flatbed. And we were like, okay. And like we were going through this crazy like Mesa desert, just like in this guy's flatbed of his truck. And that was super cool.
Was that before or after the mushrooms?
That was during. That was like
during.
Peak
shrooms.
Just I'm looking up and seeing all these crazy mountains and everything. Colorado's a beautiful state. It really is.
That's definitely
Colorado's
on the list for sure.
Colorado's a beautiful state. Mushrooms are a hell of a drug. So you have to say about that.
All right. What else do I need?
So that trip was a trip, to say the least.
Ranger? Oh my god, yeah. And that was like when nowhere. I went there when like weed was not legal in any other state other than Colorado. So it was like crazy to be able to like we just like walked into a store and like bought an ounce of sour D and just fucking twisting up blunts. And actually you get higher up there, and also alcohol hits your bloodstream differently because of the altitude. So
I think we're not altitude but elevation.
That is altitude.
So whatever, same shit.
But yes.
Yeah.
So like if you had like one beer with the altitude or elevation difference, I think like your blood constricts, or your oxygen enters your body in a different way. I'm not exactly sure what the science is, but you actually like are affected by substances differently. So if you're drinking or smoking weed, your tolerance for whatever reason is like very distorted. So I got really drunk unexpectedly, and really
that sounds just like it. I was like,
that's fast. That was like us Friday night.
that was like you.
You took mushrooms on Friday.
Hey.
Okay. Took some mushrooms and we watched.
Call me fucking Mario and Luigi the way I was taking these fucking mushrooms.
Yeah, for real. We watched
had a nice little time.
2021 snowboarding championships in Alaska. That was crazy.
Yeah, we're hanging out at 4 a.m. I look back, I'm like, oh, did you see that shit? It's just me on the couch. It's like Zeven already left. I was like, oh, fuck. No, it was so late, though. It was like 4 a.m. or maybe like even close to 5.
How did y'all end up watching the snowboarding?
He put it on.
Champs.
At first, I was like, these shits aren't fucking working. And then, like, after like at least an hour, like an hour and a half is when I started to get like that stomach feeling. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like you wouldn't like understand unless you've been on it or something similar.
Right.
But yeah, once you get that little feeling in your stomach, you about to strap in. You about to go for a ride. For sure.
For whatever reason, I feel like watching snowboarding was so satisfying in that moment. Where like I honestly would say that is the best sport to watch on TV. Just because of like the movement and the
I would say
race.
I did like it.
Man,
like
it was hitting.
Yeah, it was bussing.
It sounds so random.
It was bussing. I was fucking bussing off that fucking Super Mario power up.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
My man was fucking bing bing wahoo over there.
I don't even know who that is. That shit sound funny.
Speaking of snow sports, this year around, are y'all gonna try snowboarding with me?
Yes.
For real this time.
After watching the championship.
That finals.
I'm down. We'll make a video out of it.
They were in the Tordillo Mountains.
They in the Tortilla Mountains.
I was gonna say Armadillo Mountains.
Yeah, I would love to go snowboarding.
All right, it's on.
Yeah, is there a spot?
They in the Crunch
Grand
Wrap
Geneva,
Alps.
20 minutes. We can go to Grand Geneva and they have their hill.
They have Alpine too, which is a bit farther.
Let's go. Yeah,
Alpine's basically like the same distance. They're both like 25 minutes.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I've always wanted to go to the Grand Geneva.
Yeah, let's do it. I will say,
We should go.
I think I'd have to look it up because I think they change it every year. But you just pay the day pass on a rental for the snowboard, and then you'd be set.
Can you rent?
You can do skis
Snow
as
pants?
well if you want. I don't
No,
know. I don't know if you
doubt
can
it.
rent snow pants.
I doubt it.
You have to buy snow pants.
I just go.
They-
to fucking,
I don't think
like-
they just have
You don't
fucking
have to wear.
random
You don't
snow
have to
pants
wear
to
snow pants. I
rent.
mean, I've gone in like jeans and shit.
You're wearing jeans.
If it's, I mean, if the weather like is nice enough, if
Do you
it's
have
like
goggles?
30s,
Bring your own goggles.
I do have goggles.
You have goggles.
Yeah, goggles.
Do I have to bring goggles?
Only if you want to wear goggles.
Okay.
But
This is a middle school. It's not like they just have a lost and found table of fucking hand-me-down shit.
that would be a
you
good
can
place
do.
to go. The lost and found. Just pick your pair.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would really like to go snowboarding. That would be fun. And then my last job that I would want to do would be special agent in the FBI, cracking cold cases, like a detective.
Damn. Would you want to work in like?
Your ass just
Murder?
wants to sit in the office eating donuts all day.
Hey,
Would you want to do
part of the
like
job.
murder cases or like drugs or like
just said
I would do-
what aspect of like?
I would
crime?
do drugs. I would do.
I would do drugs. I would do drugs while.
We know,
No,
Scott. We know.
I would do.
You do drugs. You do drugs, all right.
I would do a murder mystery. I would solve a murder.
Scooby-Doo, face. Retard. Yes.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool. You know,
I've always
those- I was
wanted to
just
solve a
saying.
murder.
That's definitely not what I was expecting after the first two were very like nature-esque related.
Yeah.
But I think that that's a good one too. I've always like in the back of my mind I've been like it would be cool to just like solve some crimes and shit on
Yeah.
a daily basis. Just like
Yeah,
every day is different, but then again you're thinking it's like it's a lot of paperwork and
because
shit.
I play the long game.
Is that a reference?
No.
You're saying you'd be a good agent because you'd be able to be
Well,
in
no,
it.
I think that's like detective talk. It's like
Like
talk-
you could play the long
Detective
game.
talk.
talking shop. The
What the fuck are you talking about?
Hey.
Law and Order.
Hey, all the special agents out there know what I'm talking about. They play the long game. They see the end. They have the foresight.
They see that Criminal Minds SVU shit. She says.
Yeah. So that's what it is. That's what it is. Marine biologist, forest ranger, and FBI agent.
I think that's a pretty good list.
Pretty stacked.
I was gonna say mine. So mine was a soccer player, candy or sweets tester, and explorer. So I think some nature, some sport, a good variety.
Yeah.
And yours, you came out the gate with astronaut, so that was up there in space. You get it.
Get off the pot. Yeah, astronaut.
No puns allowed.
Astronaut, YouTuber, and NBA coach.
That was the other one I was
Wow.
trying to remember.
Yeah. Wow.
So, what is some technology that you guys think that AI is not going to be able to replace in the next coming 5 to 10 years? Or maybe not even technology, but like what? I guess I should rephrase that. Like, what skill do you think is going to be irreplaceable, even like in the light of AI?
Some stuff that I've kind of seen that the more I've thought about, the more I've kind of been like, that makes a lot of sense. Is I think at the end of the day, when it comes to creation and us as humans and our ability to be creative and innately like make different things from just our random thoughts and like intuition and stuff, I think at the end of the day, AI will always be made to replicate and reproduce our results, but I don't think AI will ever necessarily be able to get past or like truly create its own individual original works because it's all like based
It's already
off of
doing
what
that, though.
human do.
There's already AI robots that are like doing crazy shit.
Well, I know they're like doing crazy shit and stuff, but I mean like it's all programmed off of human behavior, off of previous
Yeah, but I'm
behavior
saying
of,
this is like the
humans.
first few years. I'm just like, wait 10 years from now.
I honestly don't think it's gonna take off.
I think it will.
I feel like that's
think it's
everyone said
already
about the
taken off.
internet and all these other things where it's just like, that's never gonna happen. And then like just on a grand enough time frame, it will happen.
Yeah.
Like it's just.
But AI has just undergone such a massive rebranding where ChatGPT example has existed, 20 plus years ago on an AOL chat room.
But the technology didn't catch up until recent years.
Well, and that's the thing
Yeah.
is that it started in several like iterations ago. Like it started with ChatGPT, like the point whatever and then the 1.0, 2.0, and now it's up to like ChatGPT 5.
I guess what I'm saying is that like I'm
But I feel
still not impressed, and I don't think that it's as crazy as everyone's making it out to be. Maybe with like the voice swapping and like the video, editing, I can kind of see that being more of a propaganda tool, or like being able to make Joe Biden say anything you want, or like etc. world leaders, like things like that. Like that's scary. Or like
it's a big change in like advertisements and stuff. It's like scary.
Yeah, I mean, and there are some things, but I don't think like and you know what, even like you said something about robots. Like I don't even think that something like that would be economically feasible. Like if they had like replaced a robot with like, say for example, one thing that cannot be replaced is cooking. Even though you've seen videos or whatever of like a robot that looks like it can flip a hamburger and like serve it whatever. They can't clean their stations, or grab something from the refrigerator and put it back in and clean and organize and things like that. But even still, like the maintenance on any type of machine, I mean, just doesn't even equate to the cost of like a person doing it. You know what I mean?
I totally get what you're saying, and I think that that's where only time will tell, because that's probably what we thought. I mean, for like the longest time, obviously, when we were riding around horse and buggy and shit before the car, and then within like a 10-year period, cars took over. Everyone had cars, and the whole market of like horses and buggies was completely irrelevant and fossilized almost. Like all of those jobs for the people who like took care of like horses or sold the buggies or did this and that, it was like a whole like area of work for that era was totally just like
but
gone.
It almost kind of seems like that would be more of a I don't want to say anything about the automobile is like simple, because it is a complex machine, but the principles that allowed it to become what it is are scientific, and there's reasons why that all those parts of machinery work. But I mean, just robots, I almost feel like it's just so science fiction, where AI will only be a means for entertainment. I don't think that it'll be anything more, so to speak. I mean,
and I will say I do totally get where you're coming from. I think you flip a coin, it could go either way in these coming years. Yeah. But if I had to place my bet, I would place it on, I think AI is definitely going to only get more advanced and kind of take over even more so in the mainstream. I think we don't even have a grasp on the technology that's truly out there. I think we only get shown a very little bit. But I was going to say, literally the other day, I was going to see if I could find the video, but I'll see if I can pull it up later. But it was actually a robot that was programmed to play basketball, and I was watching it play against these two, I'm not going to call them professionals, but these two adult guys who definitely knew what they were doing, or at least could play. And this robot, like, it looked like a fucking nimble person crossing them up between the legs, turning around and fucking hit a layup, and then the other one hit a three, and I was just looking at it and I'm like, that looked like so fluid. Like, honestly, I was a little taken back. So I think that, sometimes we don't see.
But if you wanted to like check that robot and like just like give him like a good like hip check or like knock it out, like
it would like break, and then it
could easily be overtaken and dismantled, and like
I think humans. I think if we do keep going down the path of AI, I think as long as people don't make robots that will be able to like overtake humans, I think we'll be we'll be good.
I will timestamp this podcast, and I'll say in 5 to 10 years that nothing changes.
Fair enough.
All right. Say that.
I say in 10 years, Terminator will.
I was gonna say full Terminator or half Terminator.
Zeven's gonna have a robot wife.
All right, I'll go. We'll be at half Terminator. Steven says no Terminator. I say half Terminator. Zeven's full.
It's gonna be November in 10 years, and this motherfucker's still gonna be jerking off.
No, hey,
motherfucker has failed November 10 years consecutively.
This is my year, though. This is my year, November 15th. But you know what? I almost think that in terms of like bettering humanity, it would be more of like just the means of entertainment, like just kind of more solipsism, and the only thing you care about is just more and feeding into the machine. I don't think there will be any revolutionary progress that is made that involves the internet. I think there's going to be like another thing. Honestly, because it's all like buzzwords, because like I said, AI has had such a rebranding where like, you've probably interacted with
it's like a fad or a trend
from, early internet days. I mean, it's, it's almost like they've ran out of ideas and they're trying to convince you that they haven't. That's almost what I'm starting to think, because like it's all old news. It's like, and even if it's not, it's like who gives a shit, It's like Alexander the Great like conquered the world like, hundreds of years ago, and like today like nobody fucking cares, you know what I mean? So like even if you want to make it be like, oh man, this is like gonna change history or whatever, it's like, dude, like honestly, like it's not, you know what I mean? Like life will go on, like with or without, like if there's a solar flare that takes all that shit out, or it cannot be replaced unless it's like built back again. So I don't think like any like or I should rephrase that and say I don't think any like it could be, because it can be positive, but I don't think like any substantial or like concrete changes will be made for like the betterment of humanity. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it would be like temporary, but eventually like it would fade into obscurity. It would be like looking back to the 1950s and like, oh man, like everyone looked so happy then, but like it's like
they still had their shit going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone still had problems,
Yeah.
Come home and, fucking, slap your wife around. I've been there. Not personally, but, growing up in my house. No, I'm just kidding. But, yeah, so. What about you, Scott? You've been awfully quiet. You've just been on Snapchat this whole time.
No, I've just been. I don't want to fucking interrupt, and you guys are talking about putting Christmas lights up and all this other shit.
We're doing the podcast. That's exactly the shit I'm talking about.
What do you want me to do? Even if I'm not on my phone, do you want me to interrupt you as you're answering questions or in a discussion? Like, what do you want me to do? This is the most interesting thing, is us arguing right now. It's the most interesting thing of what's been on the podcast tonight.
Would you rather just have me be texting the whole time?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to interrupt you if you're talking with Colton. I'm not just going to. Oh, Scott, what's your opinion when you're literally mid-sentence, mid-conversation?
Okay, all right. So what
do you think? I'm being polite and not just letting you get your piece out, and then
that's not that's impolite.
Letting you talk and answer the question and get your full time is impolite.
Yes, to be on your phone is impolite.
When I'm not being spoken to.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I just don't want to be put to sleep, so that's why I had to keep myself awake. Because talking about Christmas lights and all this other relevant shit.
The podcast is over. This has been the neighbors.
Thank God.